Determine the inverse of 2, 3, 3, 5. All right. So we learned how to find inverses in this lesson. 2, 3, 3, 5. That goes on the left-hand side of our matrix. And the same size identity, which in this case is the 2 by 2 identity, goes on the right. And we start row reducing, so I need to change this 2 into a leading 1. Okay, so we'll get a 1 here, 3 halves here, 1 half here, and a 0. And the bottom rows don't change. Now we'll use that leading 1 to get rid of the 3 in the second row. So this time the top row won't change. 3 minus 3 times 1 is 0. 5 minus 3 times 3 halves will be 5 minus 9 halves. Now 5 is 10 halves. 10 halves minus 9 halves will be 1 half. 0 minus 3 times a half will be negative 3 halves. And 1 minus 3 times 0 will be 1. Great. Now let's change this 1 half into a leading 1 because we're on the second row now. Multiply the whole row by 2. Once again, the top row here doesn't change. 1 half times 2 is 1. We'll get negative 3, and we'll get 2 here. Okay, now we use our new leading 1 to get rid of the 3 halves up above it. So we'll change row 1 by subtracting 3 halves times row 2. Bottom row doesn't change. So we'll get a 0 here. Good. We need to see an identity matrix here on the left. That's how we know we're done. Now we're going to do 1 half minus 3 halves times negative 3. So 3 times 3 halves is 9 halves. The two negative signs will cancel out. 1 half plus 9 halves is 10 halves, or 5. Of course, if you need to do it do side calculations because they're fractions, you go ahead and you do that. Okay, 2 times 3 halves is 3. 0 minus 3 will give me a negative 3 here. And so once we've got the identity matrix here, the inverse is what's written over here. So 2, 3, 3, 5 has an inverse of 5, negative 3, negative 3, 2. And there we go.